I ended my 2-year relationship after she told me about how her last relationship ended. Everyone wants me to reconsider, but I'm not sure I can. My girlfriend and I were perfect together. Not perfect like a movie couple where everything looks nice from the outside. Perfect like she knew when I needed space before I even said it. Perfect like she'd leave a glass of water on my nightstand on nights she knew I was stressed. 2 years of that. 2 years of someone who just got me. We met through mutual friends at a get-together I almost skipped. I was tired and had an early morning the next day, and I sat in my car in the driveway for 2 full minutes, seriously considering just turning around. Something made me go inside anyway. She was standing in the kitchen laughing at something someone said, not performing, not working the room, just genuinely laughing, and I thought, okay, I get it now. We were official within a month. By 6 months, she'd met my parents. By 1 year, we were talking about the future like it was already decided, where we'd live, what we wanted, kids eventually. It felt less like making choices and more like acknowledging what was already true. Her friends loved me. My family loved her. My mom called her the daughter she never had. Said it out loud at Easter dinner in front of everyone, and nobody even flinched because by that point, it just felt accurate, and I never worried. That's the part I keep coming back to. In 2 years, I never once felt like I had to question her. Never carried that low-level anxiety I've watched eat at other people in their relationships. With her, I just felt calm, safe, like something I didn't have to second-guess. I thought I knew her completely. Last Sunday, we were at this little coffee place a few blocks from our apartment. Mismatched furniture, plants everywhere, lighting that makes everything feel slower. We'd been going there almost every Sunday for a year. It was our spot. She got quiet about halfway through her drink. Not upset quiet, more like she was working up to something. She said she wanted full transparency before things went any further, that she needed to make sure there was nothing left unsaid between us. I wasn't worried. I figured maybe some old debt or a family falling out I hadn't heard about. Something small. I genuinely believed I already knew everything that mattered. She started talking about her ex. They dated for about 2 years. Broke up, she and I got together. What I'd always heard was that they were decent together, but just not right for each other. Grew apart. That was the story. Except that wasn't the story. She cheated on him. Not a panicked one-time mistake she came clean about immediately. For a month. She carried it for 30 days. Kept seeing him like everything was normal until he found out on his own. When he ended it, she begged him to stay. I didn't say anything. I looked at her, then at my coffee, then back at her. We finished the meal mostly in silence. Walked home without saying much. I didn't go cold on her. I just had nothing. She didn't push me. I think she could tell I needed to sit inside it for a while before I could form a single coherent thought about any of it. The next few days I went through the motions. Work, home, sleep. We were polite but distant. I kept waiting to land on something clear. Anger, or understanding, or even just relief that she'd been honest with me. Instead, I got this low, heavy confusion that wouldn't lift no matter how many times I turned it over. Because it wasn't just that she cheated. I've known people who made that mistake in bad periods of their lives. I understand that the worst thing someone has done isn't always the full picture of who they are. What I couldn't move past was how she described it. She was calm when she told me. Not emotional, not falling apart. Calm, matter of fact. Like she'd carried the story long enough that the rough edges had smoothed out. And then she said the line I haven't been able to stop thinking about. She said, I just convinced myself it wasn't that serious. That's not a mistake. That's a decision. Over and over, for 30 days, that's a decision you make every single time you look that person in the eye. She said she was in a hard place at the time. Grad school, family stuff happening all at once. I believe that things were genuinely difficult for her, but she wasn't confused about what she was doing. She looked at it clearly, told herself it was fine, and kept going. That takes a kind of sustained self-deception I don't know how to unfold. On Friday, I sat her down and told her I couldn't move forward. She cried, said she'd changed, said this was exactly why she'd been afraid to tell me, said I was punishing her for choosing to be honest. Maybe that's fair. I've sat with that, but I can't stop coming back to one question. If she convinced herself it wasn't serious then, what's going to stop her from convincing herself again?